Is German really as difficult as people think, or we are just scared for no reason?
In Germany, the government has been easing visa and language requirements to attract students and young professionals.
If you're starting a new thing, it'll always be scary and it'll always look like, oh, this is impossible.
I think one of the points that we make out from this conversation is never compare English to German when it's not necessary.
Every language, when you start with your journey, it's always difficult.
Between German, Korean, and Chinese, how would you rate them in terms of difficulty?
Comparison is not the right thing to do, I just say. No tuition fees is one of the main factors that play into people wanting to go to Germany for higher studies.
What would you say to someone who thinks German is impossible?
Look at us.
Hello and welcome to the Indo German Express podcast, the show where we bring real life stories from real people who have lived, studied, and worked in Germany. I'm your host, and today's episode is going to be incredibly special. We are joined by someone who proves that learning languages can literally change your life. Please welcome Vanshika, a German trainer who is a polyglot and someone who has actually been to Germany to study higher level German. Vanshika, please welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me. Um, yeah, I speak almost 5 languages, yeah, including my mother tongue. And
So you
I
speak
teach, yeah,
Korean, a little bit,
I,
Chinese, English, and I mean,
yes.
you're fluent in all of these languages. You speak fluent German.
Yeah, I mean, German, yes, English and Hindi is my mother tongue. Chinese, I'm still learning Chinese. I'm in level 3. And Korean, I've also done up until level 3. So I'm not as fluent, but I'm trying to get there.
Perfect. I mean, I have a simple question and I need an honest answer. Is German really as difficult as people think, or we are just scared for no reason?
Yeah, you're right. It's just the rumors around the memes that are floating around, proving that it's a difficult language and saying, yeah, life is too short to learn German. Every language, when you start with your journey, it's always difficult. I mean, alle Anfang sind schwer. That's a
Uh-huh.
saying in German as well. Be
I
it
mean,
Chinese,
we.
Korean,
Mhm.
German, yeah, if you're starting a new thing, it'll always be scary and it'll always look like, oh, this is impossible. I would never get to a level as close to the natives. I was there, I've been there. I remember thinking, oh, I won't be able to speak as well as these people do, but I eventually got there. It's all about the number of hours you invest, your interest in learning the language, and trust me, as frustrating as the rules are in German, they do help us later on when you are like up at the advanced level. I would say, yeah.
It's true. I mean, people are kind of overwhelmed by the amount of memes that is roaming around. You probably
Exactly.
see something like the way we say da in English. Then there are four ways to say da in Spanish, and probably there are six, seven in Italian. I'm not sure, but for Germans, there are 16.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly difficult for somebody who is a beginner in
Mm,
learning foreign languages. I mean,
exactly.
you
Mhm.
speak multiple foreign languages. I speak couple of foreign languages. So yeah, I mean, we do understand these complexities of any language, and it's there probably for everything. So I mean, we should not
Be
stereotype Germans
overwhelmed
so
with,
much
yeah,
and be
exactly.
scared
Overwhelmed
of
with all the.
something. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just all about how interested are you in learning something and in challenging yourself. Honestly, I mean, whenever you go for a new course, you're challenging yourself. You want to try something new for once. We've been learning English more than half our lives. So we're very used to English and we're like, oh my God, why is it often compare, I mean, my students often compare German to English, and they're like, why can't they just do it like the English? And I'm like, if you look at it, English is more difficult than German. It's just like
Definitely,
you, yeah,
definitely. I mean, I also ask my students, do you want to be fluent? They always say yes. And I say everybody is almost fluent in English. I mean,
yeah.
since they're working professionals. And I tell them how many years have you spent to be fluent? And they say at least 20, 25 years to be so professional. And what's the time limit you have set in your mind in German? They say 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months.
6 months, yeah,
Probably anybody would hardly have time to give or
exactly.
at least invest in the language for like at least an year. And then I tell them, okay, you spend so many years with English, why not we even take at least 25% of it serious
Yeah.
learning, and probably
Mhm.
we can 100% reach our goals.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they just want, and because most of them, like our students, most of them are working or they're studying and they're learning German on the side. So they don't have a lot of time to invest. And I understand that. But then some of them come in and are like, it's just a language. We learn
Yeah.
it. I mean, and
Yeah, I mean,
then
we
the,
should take it as only a language, and we should
yeah,
at least wait for some results for at least, I would say, 3 months to get
exactly.
some
Yeah.
solid results, not something like you
Exactly.
understand something from the billboard, but
Yeah.
it takes some time, like just a baby.
Yeah,
She knows how to
exactly.
cry, and takes a
Kindergarten
lot of
Niveau.
time to walk, to
Yeah,
understand. So is, I think, learning
yeah,
any foreign language or any
exactly.
language which is
For
new for
that
you.
matter, yeah. Yeah, true.
I mean, I had another question for you, Vanchika. Since you speak multiple foreign languages, uh, what made you to learn so many languages? How did it all start? You started with, of course, we learn English, Hindi. I mean, being in India, we are probably growing up with at least three languages. I grew up with Hindi, English, Urdu, and then I have to study Arabic to read Quran. How was it you? How was for you to start with all these foreign languages if we keep aside all the Indian languages?
Yeah, of course. English was like our first language in school. That was the medium that we used, which was English. So that wasn't really a foreign language, isn't
Hmm.
really a foreign language for Indians. So most Indians, I'd say. And Hindi, of course, is my mother tongue. I also can understand a little bit of Urdu because I come from Lucknow,
Lucknow
and
has an
yeah,
influence.
yeah, has a great influence. Yeah, the Mughal influence. So yes, I do understand a little bit of Urdu, but learning German was, I initially started because I was planning to go to Germany for my higher education, but fortunately or unfortunately, COVID happened. So my parents were like, "No, you're staying here." But I was I was of course learning the language by that time. I'd already done B2. I'd been to Germany once for a German course because of course my parents were like, you have to go there and see if you would be able to tolerate or you'll be able to manage the German winter. So I went
Ah,
there, yeah,
that's a big
during the,
topic to talk about, German
yeah.
winters.
Yeah. I went there the peak season, like this was December, January, February. I was there. So yeah, I experienced that, came back, continued learning the language. And while I was learning the language, I was offered a job um, by my institute to teach at a school. I took up the job. I was learning. I was learning. I mean, I completed B2. I was moving on to C1. I wanted to give. I wanted to appear for the B2 exam, but I mean, India and Goethe registration
Yeah, it's a difficult part. That's another story. We can just make another video on it. How difficult it is to register for a Goethe exam.
6 months I waited for to get one B2 examination seat. Never got it. So I was like, fine, let's do C1. COVID happened, everything shut down. It was actually during COVID that I tumbled upon Korean because I mean, there's of course BTS to thank for all this, the Korean.
And I think around the same time, after a year, you had this famous series from Korea, which I don't remember the name.
Squid Game.
Squid Games
Squid Game, like I guess it happened like 2 3 years after.
later. Yeah, but
Yeah, because after COVID, yeah, I think
you
because
were
I
the
remember
pioneers
by
at that time after COVID to start learning Korean. In other words, other people followed after
yes,
after all these things, the BTS, the Squid Games, and
Squid
many
Games,
things.
yeah. So initially, I was actually very fascinated by the Chinese characters.
The
That's what's
kanji, you mean?
the Hanzi. The kanji is in like Japanese,
Uh-huh.
Hanzi in Chinese.
Chinese.
The characters. So I was very fascinated by how do people read these characters? There's no alphabet, there's no sound. How do you figure this out? And also, I read somewhere the Chinese is one of the most difficult languages to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, because I had learned German, I was like, challenges are good. I'm up for a challenge. But then, unfortunately, there wasn't a course available online.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my city unfortunately doesn't have any Chinese institutes or Korean institutes for that matter. So I was looking online for a course. Didn't find one. Fortunately, I did find a Korean one. So
Mm-hmm.
then I said, okay, now that I'm watching K drama,
Let's just start with Korean. I mean, it's something is better than nothing. So you started with Korean, right?
started with Korean, yeah. And because I'd learned German, I guess it is. I mean, it's just how our brains work once we've learned another foreign language, that we know that you cannot expect to know the language within 3 months, or you cannot be like, okay, now I spent these many months, I should be able to speak at this certain level, I should be able to read. We accept that it will take time, and it all depends on the, of course, the number of hours and the effort that we put in ourselves,
Yeah.
that will prove our language eventually. And yes, there are syntax, every language has its own challenges and rules, and you have to accept that, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with making mistakes.
And we have to be okay with the fact that okay, this is how it works in this language, and
Exactly.
probably one of the
Most important things to for people who are learning languages right now for the first time, I mean a foreign language, that you have to be okay with the fact that this language, people from this region, they have a certain history, they have a different mindset, they have different outlook, and
Mhm.
this is how they see the world.
Yeah, this is how they perceive everything, and this is how they will express, and not everything should be considered or compared with your own language. And what we do is every time we compare with English,
Yeah, true.
and that's where the problem starts for anybody who's learning. So I think one of the points that we make out from this conversation is never compare English to German when it's not necessary, until
Yeah.
your teacher does not tell you to.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
are definitely
Yeah.
occasions in which we do a
We do.
comparison
Yeah.
helps. I mean,
It
German
helps. Yeah.
grammar is a lot similar to Hindi. I mean, the concept of genders that we have, and it's very easy to compare and relate to it. Probably there is no gender, or the component or elements of gender in English is much less. We don't even know. I mean, if you say it is a ball, you don't know what's the gender of the ball at all. But in German, we can figure out.
In fact, was when I started learning Korean, was that the day I found out that there are no genders, there are no
You were like kind
articles.
of very happy about it. Okay, I don't have
I
to wait
cried a little
so
bit
much.
because I was, after learning German, I was like, thank God, I don't have to care about masculine, feminine, and neutrum. So yeah, it was one of the highlights of Korean and Chinese as well. Chinese also doesn't have such a concept, so it was very, yeah, it was relieving, but at the same time, of course, they have their own challenges. These languages, but yeah, the Deadi Das, it is a scary thing for people, and you have to get used to it. And
Yeah,
people
it's
are
and you have to
speaking the
practice
language.
a
It's
lot, and
not,
then you have
yeah,
to
you
reach a
have
higher
to.
level.
Yeah, exactly. Until date, sometimes you come across words and you're suddenly like, der oder die oder das. Then all you have to
Yeah,
do is
and
pick up
maybe
your
you
phone.
forget them after learning them.
Yeah. Yes, true. Yeah. So you have to pick up your phone, search the word, and yeah, you have your answer there.
Yep, yep. So, quick question, Vanshika. So, between German, Korean, and Chinese, how would you rate them in terms of difficulties? What's the difficult and going towards the easiest?
This won't sound very nice if I put German first as being the most difficult and then Chinese and then Korean. But but it's not, again, we can't compare, no? Because as I said, every language has its own challenges. And because I'm an advanced level in German, but I'm still at intermediate level in the other two.
Other languages?
Yeah, but I can't really. I don't know. But still, I guess the Deity Das plays a big role in deciding that.
So
Okay.
this thing overweighs everything in I mean other elements of the languages, and yeah, German is at number one, at pole position in
It's
terms
because
of
of
difficulty. You're
it's
scaring our
because of
students. You're scaring
that,
our
as I said,
viewers.
might not sound nice, but okay. Again, comparison is not the right thing to do. I just say.
That's right. But I mean, people like to compare. People want to know. I mean, should they go for Chinese? Should they go for Korean? Or should they go for German? I mean, I would particularly give my opinion here. I mean, it's your podcast, but I'm the host. I want to put out my opinion as well. I believe, I mean, when you want to start reading in German, you can probably do it after a single class and you will be able to read everything. Probably you don't understand. In Chinese, you will have a hard time to even read a single sentence. I don't know how many months you will take, but I'm sure you won't be able to do it as easy as you will have it in German.
Yeah,
That's for
that's
sure.
true. Yes, that's true. Chinese, even after you've spent like a year with it, you don't expect to read a poem and understand all the meaning. Won't happen because there are a lot of characters. You might be able to figure out, you might be able to make a vague meaning out of it. But yeah, it will take time.
Vanshika, then you wanted to go to Germany. Why not Korea? Why not China? Why Germany?
At the time, yeah, it was the most attractive deal out of all of it because, of course, I started early, and um, Europe was is always something that fascinates a lot of Indians. But I had family. I still have family in Germany, and of course the no tuition fees is one of the main factors that play into people wanting to go to Germany for higher studies if you know the language. So
Correct.
yeah, I was looking into that direction, that if I learned the language, I would go and do a Studienkolleg and then
You
apply
will probably
for,
start with bachelor's.
yeah, bachelor's at the time. Yeah.
Perfect. And how was it like to I mean, when you reach Germany, what was the first thing that made you think, wow, this is a new country, this is different here?
The skyscrapers.
No skyscrapers, I would say.
No, there were skyscrapers. The
You landed
skyscrapers
probably
are
in
the one.
Frankfurt then.
Yeah, I stayed in Frankfurt for 3 months. Yeah, I was in Frankfurt am Main, and yeah, it was when we went out for walks, and when you look up and just you watch the skyline. It's
Clear air.
clear, yeah, clean air. We lived right next to a preserved forest in Frankfurt. So going for walks, the fresh air, even though it was very cold because I went during the winters, couldn't feel my nose after a while, but still.
When we talk about going for a walk, what time did you go for a walk?
It was in the evening.
Or
My
afternoon,
uncle.
probably?
Yeah, people do go there. You would see people. I mean, Germans love their Spaziergang. It's just their way of life, I guess. Yeah, I mean, they have to go for a walk. And during COVID, it was one of the big issues. They were like, we would die.
Frustrated to be at home
Yeah,
all the time
we
long.
would. The cabin fever, they said, yeah, if you stay at home, then we'll die. If not from COVID, then from not going out for walks. So we can make out how big of a deal it is for them to just every day go out for a walk. I used to see people, it was like -4, and people are just walking in the forest surrounded by trees. I was
They love
from
nature.
head
They,
to
they
toe.
love to be in the
Yeah,
nature.
exactly. Head to toe covered, and it was just my mouth that was visible.
You have heard of this German phrase, es gibt kein schlechtes Wetter, es gibt nur schlechte Kleidung. I mean, there's no bad weather, just the bad clothes that you have.
I agree. After being having been there and having been out at -7, I agree. It's just bad. If you're dressed well, you won't feel the cold
And that's what I
as
mean.
much as
It's a
people
different
complain. Yeah.
country, and you will have these kind of winters every year, and you cannot sit
Yeah.
at home for
And
every year
enjoy
of your life.
winters. Yeah. You can't celebrate winters as we do in India. Like people stop working. It's just too cold out there. So
Yep.
won't work. It won't happen. Yeah.
I mean, coming to the point, I mean, you went to Germany, you did a language course over there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, many people dream of doing such an advanced course in Germany. I mean, I still dream about, and you actually did it. How was the learning environment over there? Is it completely different from India?
Yes. Yes, it's very, very, very different
That was a very
because
thoughtful yes.
yeah, because I was 19 at the time and just right out of school and going into another country and experiencing that sort of an environment, learning environment was yeah, a game changer because mm, I mean in India most of the time we are spoon fed things. Yeah,
Uh huh.
you have the teacher stable in front and the students sitting at the back. You'll have to attend the lecture. You listen to the teacher talk for 15-20 minutes. They'll give you an assignment to do. If you did it, great. If you didn't, wait for the next period. That's how we were supposed. I mean, that's what we learned at school. But then in Germany, we sat around an oval shaped table. It was a discussion that happened. The teacher used to begin the discussion by giving out a statement, and then you had to express your views, and everybody had different views and all views were respected, and you were of course expected to give a justification or justify your view, or why do you think so. And it was a very, and people used to help each other because of course we were all from different countries learning German, so people used to forget what was to believe and then somebody was like glauben, and then yeah. So it was very it was very helpful. It was enjoyable. I used to enjoy it, but of course I was naive at the time, did not know a lot about the world, about my own country, about my own culture. And then of course people expected me to know all of that, and they questioned me, and then I was to sit there and like,
Oh,
yeah,
I mean, we don't do it in
yeah,
India. We don't
yeah,
express
we
our
don't.
views, and teachers are like, "Do what I
Exactly.
told you to do. This is what you have to know. Nothing more than
Exactly. So
that."
it was very very different. And then all of a sudden people, all eyes were on me, and they were like, why do you have so many languages? And I just straight up blank.
Suddenly, you were under
All
the spotlight. Oh, this girl
exactly.
already has so many languages. She speaks
And
multiple
so,
languages at that
yeah.
time.
And then they were like, no, I wasn't speaking multiple languages at the time. They wanted to know, why does India have so many, like we had 22 official languages, we
Yeah.
still have 22 official languages and no national language. So they were like, why do you Indians have so many different languages? And then yeah, somebody from Finland was working at a company where they had two South Indians who used to communicate in English, because one used to speak Telugu and the other used to speak
In
Tamil, and they
Tamil.
could not communicate in their own language. So they were like, they use English, which is very, very weird to see people from the same country not being able to communicate in anything other than English. So I said,
That's
all
particularly one of the things.
yeah,
We put English at
yeah.
first and then other languages come. Yeah.
It's the only common language I guess we have between. I have a lot of South Indian students who I can only communicate with in English. Now German, now that they're
At
learning
least we have
German.
one
Yeah,
common professional language then.
exactly. Yeah, we have
Otherwise,
that.
it would
Yeah,
have been like very different to travel, to teach, and to study with them.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was.
That's a cultural shock for them. And talking about a cultural shock, give us one culture shock that hit you very, very hard. Something that instantly made you understand Germany is not India.
Um, okay, you want me to give you one?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Okay.
Anything that you remember from the bare memories that you have still.
I would say it was it was the noise regel that they have. I mean, you aren't supposed to speak too loudly, play music too loud. You can't, because we are Indians, we love our chai. And in the morning, we have to pound our ginger. And this used to happen at like 7 in the morning because my uncle is a doctor and he has to leave early. So, and he, of course, has to have his cup of tea with ginger. So we used to do that, used to pound ginger at
Nobody
7 in the
complained.
morning. No, I mean, interestingly, my aunt used to say that you guys do this. There will come a notice. We will have somebody show up, and then we used to just say, "Oh no, you just think too much." It's no, that won't be the case. And then the next day it was Sunday, remember? And neighbor, the neighbor was out in their backyard. We were in our backyard. And they just came up and they said, "What do you guys do at 6 in the morning? What is this sound that comes in?" And I was like,
And it will be very hard that you make a tea with ginger.
yeah. And then we had to explain that no, that's how tea is prepared, and we do that. And also, like, yeah, you can't. We when you're climbing upstairs, it was a row house. When you're climbing upstairs, you could hear the people in the other house right next to you climbing upstairs. And then my we were also supposed to go up very quietly at night, come down very quietly. Climbing up and down stairs, you have to be very considerate about it. That is something that I wouldn't have thought. We don't even, I don't know, you don't
We
even
don't have
think
any
about those
private
things.
space. We don't have any
Yeah,
personal space. I mean, if some
construction happens at your wish here. If you wish for construction to go on,
you
will start at
can,
Sunday 12 and will end at evening at
or
7.
other day morning, nobody cares
Yeah,
about your sleep.
nobody cares. And there you can't even use a vacuum cleaner on a Sunday. So it was very shocking. Yes.
To be honest, this seems very complex, or I would say very difficult for us to grasp. But when you look at it, and when you, I mean, when you see it's for you only, for your peaceful time, which you should have, and then the Germans make much more sense.
Yeah, interestingly, after I came back, there was construction in the house next to us. I was I was telling my family about how Germans do it better. So
I
yeah,
mean,
it
yeah,
rubs off on you, yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Because
when I
yeah,
was in Delhi and you want to sleep because you have to wake up early at 2 a.m. in the morning, somebody's washing machine would be running, and you
yeah,
would be
exactly.
hearing the sound because the houses
Yeah,
were so close to each other. And you're like,
true.
you don't even know from where it is going. I mean, where this washing machine is running, and you don't know which house to go because there's so
Exactly.
many buildings and you cannot knock at 2
Yeah,
a.m. at
yeah,
any
people,
random door.
so consideration is something, empathy is something I learned from Germans. They're very considerate of other people's time, other people's quiet time. So, and that is something that people should learn in India as well, I guess.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
should have empathy and
Yeah, they're
sympathy.
very
I mean,
important.
these two
Yeah,
things are very much
exactly.
required. Probably that is
Yeah.
something that we should pick up from Germans. All right, that was good. Uh, So by that time, I mean, you have already lived in Germany for a couple of months, probably practicing with the people,
Yeah.
and you already finished until B1, and then you went to Germany
Yeah.
for your B2 level, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
How was it like to? I mean, I've heard that when people speak German, the natives, it's
Mhm.
very fast. How was it when you spoke to the Germans for the very first time? Did you understand anything? Or was it like, oh, I don't understand. What did they say?
I mean, it was interesting because at the time when you're right out of Bay Eins, I'd say you're not very confident. That was the case with me, at least. I wasn't very
Definitely.
confident with speaking. I was okay with I mean I was good at hearing, I'd say, because I used to listen to a lot of German media. I used to consume as much as I could in German when I was preparing for B1, and yeah, because I knew I had to go to Germany, so I used to listen to German. I used to watch like cartoons in German and everything that I found at my level
So you
in
already
German.
trained your ears before
Exactly.
moving.
I
And you
Yeah,
were
before
used to
going
that
there.
German accent, probably.
Exactly. Yeah. So that worked in my advantage. I went there, and yeah, I used to understand. I'd say like 85% of everything that was going on, I used to understand. But again, speaking was one of the hurdles. And my uncle noticed, and he pointed out that it's just the hesitation in your head, because if you can understand, if you can write well, if you've cleared the Goethe exam, that
You
means
can
you know
speak.
the language. Yeah, it's just the hesitation up there. So I was again, interesting anecdote. I I was out and about on my own, shopping in Germany, and I did not remember that my data pack expired the same day, on my phone, and I had to get back to my house. And then suddenly, I was in a state of panic because I noticed, of course, I relied on Google Maps, because this generation is very anxious to ask for help. So all
So
I
you're like,
did
I
was
don't
rely
want to talk to
on,
Germans. Google
yeah,
Map is there.
exactly. Yeah, so I was like, I'll just open the Google Maps. And suddenly, when I went on my phone to open the maps, I found had no internet. So then I had to go back home, and I did not know whom to ask. And I was panicking because, of course, there was nobody with me. And I just could not the Bushaltestelle was right in front of me, and I couldn't find it because I was panicking. So I then went, I had to. That was the first time I spoke German in Germany, I'd say. I had to ask a lady who was waiting at the Bushaltestelle, which was going the other direction, to ask her where, because I wanted to go to the other direction, to the Hauptbahnhof. How would I get there? And I was really just hoping that I don't mess up, and that they understand me, at least, that they understand how Bahnhof at least, so they could give me the
Even if you
direction.
say up, Banov, they will say, go this way, go this way.
Yeah, exactly. So that was all I expected that lady to understand. But fortunately, when I asked her, können Sie mir bitte helfen? Und ich möchte nach das und das. Und wo kann ich die wo finde ich die Bushaltestelle? Und so. And she understood everything. And then she just told me, yeah, it's right there. And I was like, oh, thank you. And that was
And that
as I
gave
was
you the
walking.
push, that gave you the
Yeah, the push.
confidence
Yeah,
to speak the language.
that was the
Uh,
first time I said, okay, so they didn't correct me. That means I spoke something right this time. And yeah, then of course I had to, I mean, it was one of like the first compliment that I got from a German was, yeah, they were very surprised that I could speak German at all, because every time my cousin's friend's mom used to visit, I just used to sit there quietly because, of course, underconfident. But then one time we were left alone in the room, and my aunt had gone to look after the kids. What were they doing? And then, of course, it was. I had to keep the conversation going. So that was the first time I spoke in German to her. And she said, "You speak wonderful German." And then I was like, "Okay." And that's at the time I was like, "Oh, I just think Germans are just impressed too easily." But then, yeah, but she then went on to tell everybody in our family, "Oh, she speaks wonderful German, wonderful German." So I said, "Yeah, okay, then maybe I can speak German if
And
that's coming
definitely
from a
they're very
German. Yeah,
happy when you even speak
somebody
broken
tries.
German.
Yeah,
They love
exactly.
it. They love it. And I think one of the false impression that a student has with any language is they don't want to speak simple, or they don't want to talk about anything which is very simple. They want to
Make
be only
complex,
satisfied
complex
until unless they can.
sentences.
I mean, they want to have directly a conversation or a debate on global warming.
Yes.
That's the way
Exactly.
they want to start, and they have
See,
to start from very small
say eins,
things.
it's why Nivo, they want to discuss things at, yeah. Because, of course, again, the comparison thing. They compare it to English. If I can make a sentence in English, how can I make the same in German?
Yeah.
It happens a lot of the times during our classes as well, and I have to tell them, "You are at kindergarten, Nivo. You
Yeah, I
can't,
mean,
you
you are
can't
at class
expect."
one, class two,
Yeah,
nothing more than that.
you can't expect to make such complex sentences in German. But then I understand them because I was the same when I was doing A1. I remember my teacher was a German, so he also used to tell me the same. And I used to argue. I was like, "But why do you? How do you expect me to make such like class one year class one sentences? I can't speak. I have to use complex grammar." And they were like, "No, but that's not your level in German."
I mean, you cannot use complex grammar if you don't know how to conjugate the verbs, and if you're making
Exactly.
mistakes with the verbs conjugations and capitals,
Exactly.
then let's
Yeah,
just stick to
I
the
mean the
basics.
Nebensätze, the connectors and everything, you know nothing about it in A1, so this idea can't decide. You have to wait for
Yeah.
a few more months, learn the language, and then maybe try and say, okay. Yeah.
Most of our listeners want to learn German, yeah, and when we are talking about how scary German is, and we are talking about the why they're also scared, because the way that they are assuming the language and how it should be learned, it's very different, right? And they're scared. What would you say to someone who thinks German is impossible?
Look at us.
That's a great answer. I mean, look at us. I mean, if we can do it, I was the
We can do it. Why not you? Yeah. I, a lot of Indians are living in Germany currently and can speak perfect German. Not perfect, but yeah, I mean, intermediate level German. And they all started somewhere. We all
yeah.
started somewhere. I remember remember holding a bottle, a shampoo bottle that was from Germany. And I at the time was in, I remember, A2. And just I tried to read the back of it where all the ingredients and instructions are. And I remember thinking, "Oh, I'll never be able to be at the level to understand all of this." But look
I
at me now.
mean, there are a lot of things that we don't even understand in a shampoo bottle in English, the ingredients, and then why do we expect to understand such
That's
things in
that's
German?
the that's the
Mindset.
mindset of somebody who was learning her first foreign language. Yeah. So at the time, I was like, I would never be able to. But then slowly and steadily, with yeah, time and effort, it all happened. So
I
it's
think,
not, of course, it's not impossible.
yeah, I think realistic goals and realistic targets makes it possible. Yeah. I mean,
Patience and yeah, give yourself the time, the grace to make mistakes, to learn from your mistakes, to learn from the mistakes of others, to just go with the flow. And yeah, don't try to force things. Don't try to be like, "No, 2 months is all I have for one level, not one day more, not one day less. That's when I have to like clear this exam, or I have to be able to do this." No, there will be setbacks. You will lose motivation in between. You'll again get into the habit of German. There are ups and downs in your learning.
I have seen most of the people who are in rush that they want to complete their B2 in 4 months or 6 months, and somebody who is saying, "Sir, I just want to do until B1 in 6 7 months, they're able to reach their target instead of somebody who's in total rush. They're not even able to clear A1 well, because they're like looking for the other side, and they don't even know how to swim the river, and they want to just go to other side without even learning how to swim. So I think taking it easy, realistic would be the better way to go ahead.
Yeah, true, true. And people, some of them, I'm not saying it's an extremely difficult language or anything, but some people come in with the attitude of it's just a language. How hard can it be? Or like, I mean, if I attend the classes, that would be enough. No, you have to put in some effort on your own.
Yeah, you
Self
have to
study
process all the
is, yeah.
information and try to understand them on your
Do
own as
the
well.
homework. If the teacher is asking you to do the homework, you have to do the homework.
There are
Otherwise,
certain
the
students who will say, I don't have time to do homework, but I want to learn
exactly
it.
learn the language in 3 months. How do you expect us to then bring you to that level without you putting it any effort on your own, like from your side? If we are the only ones teaching you, you just listen to a lecture again. The Indian mentality of just listening to a lecture, yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, and another thing is people tend to have very long gaps between whatever levels they are doing. They are done with A1, they want to do with A, go ahead with A2, but that's a gap of 4 or 5 months, and that's not a healthy thing to do. I mean, you lose your time and you lose your level because it's never the same. You
Yeah,
probably
people
forget
don't
everything.
understand this with languages that you're not always once you've done B1, if you don't stay in touch with the language, you would get down to A2.
It's like your battery life of your phone. Even if you don't use it, it drains. It drains somewhere somehow, and you have to recharge it as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah. Yes, it's like your phone's battery. So you have to be in touch and you won't don't expect your language to always be at like yeah, B1. Once you've cleared B1, it's always B1. No, it's not.
Coming to the levels, I mean, I had one question with this as well. I mean, if somebody from India or from any other country wants to go to Germany later, which level do you think, I mean, they should aim for? A1, A2, B1, B2, C1? What should they even target before moving to Germany? I mean, if they have enough time, like you had.
If they have enough time, but it also depends on what they want to do in Germany.
Probably working, or maybe going for their masters. I mean, these are the most common people who, I mean, background of the people who want to go to Germany.
Yeah, so I'd say, I mean, I think now for working visas and everything, you'd need. No, I think during the interviews, yeah, they ask you for let's say eins. You can apply if you have a B2, but then they're like, you need to work on your German and you need to get a C eins.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're working not in a company where you don't require any kind of German, but for any kind of official documents for PR, and also to integrate within the society, you need the language. And people think, oh, once I reach in Germany, I'll start with it. Life in Germany is not easy. I mean, you have to take care of everything. So you should start, right? Start today. If you're waiting, I mean, it's the best time is today. The last best was yesterday.
Exactly. Because B1 has been, like, I guess 6, 7 years ago, B1 was enough for you to start
B1 is
working. But
overrated, B2 is underrated.
it
This is
is,
what you
it
want to
is.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's not. Now they need B2. They need you to have B2 for in order for you to apply for their jobs. And for masters also, I'd say, because you'll be staying there for 2 years. So come on. B2 is not that hard.
Yeah, of course. Even I mean, I'll tell you one of the interesting stories from our one of our parents. Her child studies in a school. He goes to a German school in Germany, and for some reasons, the teacher believed that this guy cannot score such a good marks in the language. I mean, they have language as a course in the schools, and he failed. He got failed for 2 consecutive years. Her mother was totally panicking, and now this is where it comes that if parents know German, they can defend their student. They can defend their children, and she is like totally helpless. She does not know how to confront with the trainer or the teacher. And this is one of the reason, I mean, if you are a parent in Germany, even if you don't
Very
require the
important.
language,
Yeah. Mm.
some way somehow, I mean, you are dependent on someone, then you need to know the language. If you want to
Correct.
drive to some place, you need a driving
To know
license.
the
The exam
license.
in driving license, that's also in German. So for some
Yeah.
reasons, if you have plans,
Yeah.
like the creator
You
plan
have
in
to
Germany, you need to
you
know the
have to
language,
start.
you need to learn the language, you
True.
need to
Need to start
accept it
learning
as a
it.
language.
Yeah, you need to know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in India you could survive with English in the northern part or the southern part because it is one of our official languages. But if you really want to be invited to parties, you need to know the language. You need to know Hindi if you're here.
Yeah, if you're traveling, if you're booking a hotel and everything, it's there. I mean, it's totally embedded. You cannot be quiet. You're human. You interact, and you have to talk, and you have to talk.
And then people are like, Germans are rude. No, they're not. They just want you to
They're
speak
one
their
of the most
language.
warmest people. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I know they're cold-blooded, but I have met
Yeah.
Germans as well, and they're very good. They're very good.
Yeah,
They
they're
take
very
some time.
friendly. Gastfreundlich is, yeah, something that they are. Yeah. So but you have to also respect their culture and their language, and you have to be like, yeah, I'm learning your language and I will get to a point where I can talk to you fluently, and they'll be very happy to know that.
And then when you are able to communicate with multiple people around the world, you are able to exchange the ideas, the culture, their expressions, their opinions, and it changes you.
See the world in a different, yeah, from a different window, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Different
so learning
perspectives.
language or so many languages has changed your life or not, Vanshika? I mean, do you
It
feel
has.
that you are the same as you were, or it has completely transformed your life after learning
Oh,
so many
totally. Yeah.
languages?
How would yeah. So it
How would a
has
German
given
think in
me
this situation? How would a
yeah,
Korean think? How would a Chinese think?
exactly. You don't only look at things one way anymore, because then you have a worldview of things. That, okay, I might see it as an advantage, they might see it as a disadvantage, or they might see it from a neutral point
So
of
you have
view.
much more sympathy and empathy towards others right now
It
after language.
yes, yeah, thankfully, yeah,
I think
and I'm
so. So
grateful
why
for
do
that.
I mean? I mean, as an Indian, we speak multiple languages. Are we missing something here?
I don't want any hate comments, but yeah, I mean, we Indians, then we only think we're only thinking through the Indian mindset, through what will benefit us in the
Yeah, I
middle
mean,
of Pacific. Yeah. So you have to consider that, okay, these people might not, they have different cultural values, they have different traditions, customs. This might be offensive to them, this might be offensive to us, but they might see it as not a big deal. So when learning a language opens a lot of doors, opens a lot of um yeah, I'd say gives you different perspectives to look at. You see the
correct.
world differently.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Whatever is a taboo here may not be a taboo. I mean, that you will be only learning after you learn the language, you interact with people. And also, I mean, talking about news, when you talk to the people directly instead of listening to the news, you are much more aware, and you understand the real facts.
The news network in India is not something I enjoy, so I
Let's
try
not
to
comment on
consume.
that. Let's just keep it German centric for today. Okay,
Yes,
I
I
want to
tend.
move to one of the parts,
Yeah.
Vanshika. Sorry to cut you,
Yeah.
but let's just quickly move to the rapid fire round. I will be asking you a very simple question. Just give me your answers. Hardest German word you learned in Germany or in the language itself?
Hardest German word.
It's very hard to think because it's hard.
Very hard. Yeah. And we also have the Streichhochschachtel. The matchstick. That's one.
Schornsteinfeger, a lot
Yeah.
of words, a
Yeah,
lot of
those
words.
are like hard, yeah, but
I mean, I know this question
I
might not be interesting you. The second question probably, do you like any German food? One German food that you like? Probably nothing because there's only kartoffel.
exactly. I went I went to a Christmas dinner at a German's place and I was very disappointed looking at the food. They had kartoffel made four different ways and I was just so over it. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing.
I mean, I will tell you one story here. I mean,
Yeah.
I heard somewhere, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but there was one guy who was like fed up of eating something in McDonald's or Domino's. And
Uh-huh.
then he thought, I mean, let's go to a fancy restaurant. And he went there, he ordered the most cheapest thing, or I don't know, cheapest or whatever. Then what he is getting is boiled potatoes to eat.
Yeah, I had boiled potatoes at Christmas Eve. Yes, it was a celebration, imagine for them, and they had boiled
And
potatoes,
that has a lot of
mashed
influence
potatoes.
because of the World War, because of the food
Yeah, true.
scarcity they might have
Yeah,
had.
yeah, true, true, true.
So,
Yeah, and it was boiled chicken that you have with a
and they
little
have black
pinch of
pepper, white
spice.
pepper.
Exactly, pinch of spice, and that's
That's
their
all.
dinner. Yeah. So I was coming from India. Yes, very hard to like a German dish, but I guess the sausages might be good. I don't know. Yeah,
You haven't
because
tried.
I know wasn't
Okay,
interested.
one German habit that you have picked up now after coming from Germany.
Oh, a German habit. Throwing the trash in trash cans, maybe.
Or so you, I mean, you have picked up before. You hadn't had that habit before going to Germany, but yeah.
I mean, I'm more aware of okay, where do I put this put this garbage in my hand? Yeah, more aware of it, and I was actually I appreciated their concern for separating their meal. So
Yeah, it's very
yeah,
complex for me. I mean, I still assume or I still think about it that,
no,
I
I
mean, I don't
have, but
even throw
like,
anything, but yeah.
no, but then yeah, I because yeah, by the end of my stay, I was an expert in sorting out Verpackung and yeah, the biomill and all. So and I did consider that yeah, something that people should have in mind all over the world. So yeah, it's good for the
Any German
environment.
city you would like to live in, Vanchika?
German city I'd like to live in. I I I thought Berlin was um, a good city to live in, but yeah, but now I've come to know that it's very it's very dirty, and the rent is sky high. Uh, yeah, so not there, but Frankfurt was likable. I did like because of course the skyscrapers, the skyline. When you're at the bridge, like when you're on top of Main, yeah, that's it's a great view. So yeah, I mean Frankfurt am Main is yeah somewhere I would like to live. Yeah.
All right, all right. Last question for you, Vanchika, yeah, and then we'll probably wrap this up. What is your message to Indian students who dream of Germany but are still unsure?
Um,
Any
I just
inspiring
say,
message for them?
um, yeah, I mean, see, nothing. If you really put your mind to something, you can achieve it. Nothing's really impossible if you do put in the effort and the time. So learn the language and start looking up cities that you'd want to live in. That would motivate you, I
Any
guess. Yeah.
websites or anything that would be helpful for the students?
I mean, the generation today is more advanced in using technology than I am, I'd say. So yeah, if
You're
you
also
just
of the
go
same
on,
generation, I would say.
yes, I'm like, no, it's Gen Alpha. So,
I'm not aware of these terms. Alpha, beta,
Gen Z,
gamma.
yeah. I'm Gen Z. But yeah, but you could just simply look up a web. You can look up for whatever you want to do on Google, or just go on YouTube. There'll be a million vlogs that people have already made.
Yeah, I mean, you need to
Yeah.
start to investigate
Somewhere.
yeah, I
Research
mean,
is very important. Yeah. You
yeah,
have to
need
be
to
well
research.
prepared.
And nobody else will do it for you. If you do it, and then you'll be
Nobody
aware
will.
of what is happening exactly for
Exactly.
you.
People tend to incline towards agencies and, yeah, consultancies. All they do is they do the research for you. So you can do it on your own rather than relying on somebody
Yeah, and you
else.
know what's coming then for you
Exactly. You
without any
already know what to
surprises.
expect. Yeah,
Thank you so
that
much,
helps.
Vanshika, for sharing your journey from learning your first foreign language to studying German in Germany to teaching students today. If you are listening to this and your dream is German or Germany, let this episode be your sign. Start learning German, start small, start today. This is Faz from the Indo German Express podcast. See you in the next episode.